So it's taken me a little while to get over the realization that making 300 and some discussion videos a year um, was not a time-consuming thing, and there's some days that you won't have things to talk about. But discussion videos are the best content that I provide. So I'm going to suck it up. I'm going to try to continue on with these videos that are longer than 10 minutes to, I guess, create more content. I mean, one of the things I enjoy is talking. So it's a short little intro there, but today I kind of wanted to talk about, I guess, 10 plus years of experience in this game. Now, this might not all fit in one video. Kind of wanted to talk about the dinosaurs in our community today. Probably touch on some of the finer points and how the game has changed over the course of 10 years from like 2004 to 2016, amongst other things. So buckle up. Not everything will be said in this video. Kind of going to leave this a little bit open-ended for those of you that have come in and out of the game. I know a lot of you guys on my channel are kind of fossilizing. You're not quite dinosaurs yet. You guys are definitely getting there. I will give you that. I know a lot of you guys did quit quite some time ago. We haven't had a lot of new subscribers come and go in this channel because I kind of lost my way, but we're kind of hunkering in now. So we have some dual content and stuff like that too. But let's talk about these dinosaurs. All right. Now we're going to give you guys my definition of a dinosaur in this community. And I want to say like 2009 before is a dinosaur. Now, there are many players in this game that come and go. Probably going to talk about some names in this video that you're probably going to be like, who the fuck is that? And you're like, who? This guy won like 100 years ago? Yeah. There is a before time in the current meta. And I think educating a lot of players on a lot of these things can be important. So first off, let's talk about dinosaurs. 2009 plus. So Alex Van Sant. Now, you might not know who that is. Van Sant used to be a very fanatically well-known player in the early stages of the game. Thunderpants was his nickname. Now owns a store with Jeff Jones. I know many players today should know Jeff Jones by name as well. You don't see Jeff really play in a lot of events. I mean, like, he's there. He's one of the best innovators, stupid Gundam references, innovators. He's one of the best innovators that this game honestly ever had, and he's withstood the test of time. Now, Van Sant and Jeff, you both don't see them play a lot of events anymore. It can be a shame. I mean, every once in a while you'll see Jeff make a splash in the water with some new creative rogue deck. I mean, he's definitely one of the smartest players in the game for doing things like that. But both of those players, they're very dinosaur-y. They both kind of withstood the test of time. And I think it's one of the things that's really cool about this game is the amount of players that are old in this game is dwindling. And I thought 4 or 5 years ago, if you played this game for like that long, like it was really rare. But the amount of these players is just shrinking. Of course, you guys know John Moore. John's a dinosaur. I mean, he has a win from a Shonen Jump day back in the day. I'm also a dinosaur. I've been here since 2004. I still have my first rare pot agreed first edition I pulled. If you guys also don't know, Trial of Nightmare had a misprint that said Trial of Hell on it. Actually, I don't know where one of those are. It's kind of a common misprint, but a lot of the older people in the day, had those. And I mean, you have new players that have kind of come up in the day that aren't dinosaurs that you would think, like Blair, of course, Blair Hunter. Let's see here. Fraser Smith is a little bit more of a new up-and-comer. And then, of course, Philly Luna used to be a really big name in the community. He's a little bit more taking up a back seat. I know a lot of people in the community these days would be like, who the hell's Dale Bolito? Like, I've heard Dale shows up to one regional a year in Toronto. And Dale and Lazaro used to be two of the best players in the Shonen Jump days, two of the best innovators in this game. And they just, life took them. Not saying that's a bad thing, but like people grow up. But some people still keep educated on this game. And Dale is one of those excellent examples. Dale usually reads up on this game, keeps himself educated, and every once in a while, if there's a regional and he has time, he will go and play. But the dinosaur aspect has kind of come into play. A lot of the newer players, yes, new people do play this game. Contrary to popular belief, I played a regional and my opponent didn't know what fossil dino Pachycephalo did. Alright, well, first off, Pachycephalo is probably not the right pronunciation on the word, but just as people don't know a lot of older cards in today's metagames, people might not know a lot of the older players. Now, I'm not saying that you should be aware of all of these old players because they deserve the recognition back in the day, but seeing where the community is going it's a really interesting aspect of our game. And I think not so much as the fact that they've been forgotten. It's just interesting to see where a lot of these names have come and gone. Like Thurzak's Pumbaa. Oh my god, I can't pronounce fucking his name. One of the original innovators of, Full Circle. If you guys don't know, or no, Perfect Circle or Circle Jerk. Those were the days. I love Yu-Gi-Oh acronyms, but back in the day, he was one of the best innovative players, and he just disappeared off the face of the planet. Matt Petal was another interesting name. Like you'd always see Matt next to Dale and whatnot from Canada, and Matt just disappeared. Michael Cohane does coverage now. He's a dinosaur as well in this community. Now he works for Konami doing coverage, and I think that's awesome. That players get the opportunity to do that. Billy Break's another dinosaur. Billy and John go way back in the day. And it's kind of cool to, see that. But the dinosaurs, they're shrinking. And I want to say for, like, the preservance of this game, should educate yourself. Talk to these old players, see what's up. Oh, Silverman's another dinosaur. I'm kind of looking at, like, the metagame over here. Silverman's a dinosaur. You'll see him vending events. You'll see Silverman play. Silverman's very much a dinosaur in our community. Silverman's a really cool guy. I think he's one of the more interesting people that I've actually sat down and talked to. Very smart at what he does. He's definitely withstood the test of time in this community. There's old players like Shane Scurry, for example. Scurry disappeared a long time ago. Adam Korn's still involved in this game. Runs a booth at Frankenson's out in California. I can tell you this, a lot of people wouldn't know who the fuck Adam Korn is anymore. Our community every once in a while would mention him because he's a very well-known old player, but he just took a back seat. A lot of the ones that are currently active in the community, me, John, Billy, Silverman, I know I'm forgetting some people, and I apologize for that, but the amount of the dinosaurs is shrinking. It's like a comet just hit us. I'm not even super good at Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. I'm not going to lie to you. Playing Minervasaur has been the most fun I've had in probably 2 or 3 formats. And I'm not going to say that I'm not educated on how to play the game. I might not make some of the smartest moves in this game, but, coming from a time earlier in the game, I think this is where a lot of the dinosaurs died, was a lot of them couldn't adapt to the ever-changing metagame. And I know that I took a lot of breaks. Sat out a couple formats. Like, I'll still go to events if I'm on a break. I'll hang out with people. A lot of these people in the current format will tell you the exact same fucking thing if you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You're going to events to see people. It's the faces at these events that bring it home for you. And it's something that a lot of people that, once you're deeply rooted in this community and you meet people, I know a couple of my local friends up at our library locals up here. Yes, our library has locals in the next town over. Don't ask how. They got lucky. They have a community. It's really cool. But the first couple events they went to, they started to see, like, how cool this community is. And the first event, they traveled 3 hours out of the area. They got the chance to meet a lot of players, a lot of interactions with the community, a lot of people that you wouldn't think that you would get to meet. And it's not something that's rare, but it's a little bit more of an acquired taste in this community. Um, to understand that you travel to see people and to play this terrible game. And I will always give Yu-Gi-Oh shit. If it's a format that I'm not good at, I'll call it shit. That's me being me. You know? And you know what? A lot of these new players, these dinosaurs that come into the transitional periods, they're like, oh yeah, like, it kind of just, like, it's like you're a 12 running season as opposed to, something new on TV. Like, the season 12 show has its established audience. It might get a couple new fans, but that hot new fire, that hot player running around, getting those tops, it might be a little bit harder for them, or they're going to be infinitely more popular. And it's really interesting to see that with a lot of things. I mean, Marcus Hayden, for example, won a YCS. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I still remember Marcus's name half of the time. Hell, Marcus was in round 6 of the Zodiac tournament last month, and John was like, hey, Robbie, Marcus Hayden's in our tournament. I'm like, who? He's like, we did an interview with the guy, and I'm just like, oh, yeah. So, like, I'm terrible with names. It's another acquired flavor of the month. But getting recognition in this game has to be repeatable. I mean, hell, a lot of people probably don't even know who Blair is. And I love Blair Hunter to death. He's one of the best recurring players I've seen in this game. One of the most successful as of late. And I don't have any tops to my name. Like, I topped a regional, like, March last year. I've been dry since then, and regionals don't even technically count. So my last YCS top was in 2012, if we're going by that mentality. So, if you have a strong personality and people enjoy having you around and things like that, then you won't fossilize as much, but you still gonna be a dinosaur and you're still gonna be old as fuck. So the moral of this video, guys, we have a lot, and by a lot I mean the amount of dinosaurs we have in our community are shrinking. And I'm not saying to respect these players, I'm not saying to give them any special love or anything like that, but the amount of old players in today's game really proves that there has been a lot of change. And I'll talk about some of the change a little bit later in another video, but a lot of players have stuck with this. A lot of players have enjoyed this game. I mean, everyone takes their breaks, everyone has their ups and downs, but it does show that Yu-Gi-Oh has had new players come into the game. Seems to be a myth that no, only players leave, players don't come. Actually, I was oblivious to that myth as well. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Just having someone not understand what Fossil Dyna did it for me at a regional. Like, you back when DN was a thing, you were educated and well-versed. You had everything in front of you. But for a well-known player at that time to not know, just... It was a little bit mind-boggling to me. But then again, why the fuck was I playing Fossil Dino in, like, 2014? Like, that's my fault, too. But, at the end of the day, guys, remember, those local players that you have that might be scrubs that you think it's a good idea to rip off at locals might become the next best player in the game. And they might just rip you a new asshole at locals, so... That didn't happen to me. That's not an actual personal example, but I can see that shit happening. Just remember that. We've taken a lot of good care of our new locals that we've had for like a month and a half now. Obviously, you have the players that don't really want to spend money, but you also have those players that want to have the drive to get better. And I think having a good blending of things like that can make locals truly good. And that's where the dinosaurs have to be the dinosaurs that they are. If you know something, teach it to people. We've been in this game for as long as we have. And that's one of the reasons why I woke up one day and realized it was like, people want to hear me talk. Whether or not I know what the fuck I'm talking about is another thing. I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and run statistics on things. I'm not going to edit these videos because it's not who the fuck I am. I mean, you guys have requested edited content. Oh, actually, edited content hasn't been super requested. But I enjoy the raw, unedited aspect of this channel. I've always enjoyed speaking my mind. It's just one day when you wake up, you're like, man, I have to make 300 of these videos a year. And like, even as a dinosaur, like, man, that meteor is going to hit me one day. Like, and I'm not even going to justify continuing to play this game or say like, I'm going to quit anytime soon. But man, some days you just wake up, you're like, man. And to those of you that were talking about wanting to quit this game, all right, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like a drug. That's going to be another video eventually about how addicting this shitty game is. And when I made that video that said, you're going to quit Yu-Gi-Oh!, you'll be back, it's true. And as much as it pains me, like, have you truly quit Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're still going on fucking Facebook reading about what won the event last week or what's the current good deck in the format? Like, you don't have to play to keep yourself educated, because that's not quitting. That's like, man, this is going to be an extreme example. It's going to sound really bad, but like, you quit smoking, but you're still addicted to it, and you're like, your friend smokes, so like, secondhand smoke. It's a terrible example, but you guys should know what the fuck I mean when I say that. So, remember this, you know, a lot of the dinosaurs, I've said this enough. You know, dinosaurs, meteor blows up the planet, new game comes on. Actually, that's another good example. You know, like, the change from generic staples in this game really did change. Changed a lot of the player base when everything became archetype exclusive. And I know you guys have seen that, or a lot of you new players grew up with just archetypes. I grew up in a period where everything was generic. I think it was probably one of the reasons why Kieran got banned, or Kieran died in the OCG. It's just an overall generic broken card, and Konami does not like generic things. So remember that, guys. When Kieran dies on the next list, this old fucking dinosaur told you that it was going to die. Yeah. Guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about the dinosaurs in our community. Obviously, I did not hit all of the dinosaurs in our community. I am not smart enough to remember all the dinosaurs in our community. There's a lot of great players in our community. And you know what? I don't remember them all, and I apologize if you were a dinosaur watching this video. Sorry. Oh, one last note here before we go. The organization is a dinosaur. You guys might not know this, but the organization originally originated before Duelist Grounds on a board called Obelisk Blue. And this is a little bit of interesting history here. Obelisk Blue, I believe, was... don't quote me on this, because I might not be exactly right, but it was a little form on Envision Free. I used to dab around in little forms back on Envision Free back in the day. It was actually a little hobby of mine, creating little content things for, you know, people to enjoy back in my high school days. I remember 8th, 9th grade. It was a little hobby of mine, creating forums. Actually, I met some of my oldest friends on the internet from those days. But Obelisk Blue kind of evolved into Duelist Grounds, and then from Duelist Grounds evolved up into the organization. The organization's been there for years. It's been probably one of the best well-kept dinosaurs in our community. They've always been there. They've been helping from afar. Not going to not give them credit where credit is due. I remember back in the day, they were very quiet and things. Like, they also helped out with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Virtual Desktop, YVD, created sets, did a lot of good work back in the day, translations and things like that. And, you know, they've always been there. And I can't believe I actually forgot them. So, fun fact, guys, the organization is one of the oldest entities in our community, next to Konami and, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself. And it predates back to Pojo as well. Pojo is also a dinosaur. And the man Pojo himself. Did you know that Pojo named Pojo? Fun fact. But, yeah, there's definitely a lot of dinosaurs. So, down below, guys, comment, like this video, share this video with your friends, so I don't look like a complete and utter retard about what I'm talking about. Peace, guys. Dinosaurs. Fuck yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please thumbs up this video to show your support. And please check out Vanguard 40 for Cardfight Vanguard, M-Kohl Games for miscellaneous trading card games, and No Limit Gaming for a brand new series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. Thanks for watching.